research numbers are impressive, but what does this look like in real life? A study followed 299 adults with an average age of 78 for 13 years. The people who walked at least 6 miles per week had significantly larger brain volumes compared to those who walked less. Their brains looked younger on scans. They scored higher on memory tests. They had half the risk of developing memory problems. Another group of researchers tested cognitive function in 6,000 women over age 65. The women who walked the most had brains that functioned as if they were several years younger. The difference wasn't small either. Women who walked just 2.5 hours per week scored as well on thinking tests as women who were 5 to 7 years younger but didn't walk regularly. But here's what makes walking different from other exercises. You don't need to push yourself hard. You don't need to run. You don't need to get your heart rate into some target zone. Moderate pace walking, the kind where you can still hold a conversation, produces these brain benefits. That's sustainable for most people, even those with joint problems or other health issues. The consistency matters more than the intensity. A person who walks 30 minutes every single day gets better brain benefits than someone who exercises hard twice a week. Your brain responds to regular, repeated activity. It's like watering a plant. A little bit every day works better than flooding it once in a while. Researchers also discovered something unexpected about timing. Morning walks seem to produce slightly better cognitive results than evening walks. The theory is that morning movement jump-starts your brain for the entire day. It sets up better blood flow patterns that last for hours. Now let's talk about specific improvements people actually notice. In one clinical trial, participants reported changes within the first month. They found themselves remembering appointments without checking their calendars. Names came back faster. They could follow conversations better in noisy restaurants, something that gets harder as we age because it requires your brain to filter information quickly. One participant described it like this: "It felt like someone turned up the brightness on my thoughts." That's not poetic language. That's an accurate description of what happens when your brain gets better blood flow and more BDNF. The benefits show up in unexpected places, too. People who started walking programs reported making fewer mistakes with their medications. They balanced their checkbooks more accurately. They remembered plot details from books they read weeks earlier. These aren't dramatic changes that happen overnight, but they add up to a significantly better quality of life. There's also a protective effect that's harder to measure but incredibly important. A major study tracking over 18,000 women found that those who walked regularly had a 20% lower risk of cognitive impairment as they aged. Think about what that means. 1 in 5 cases potentially prevented by something as simple as a daily walk. The speed of your walk matters too, but probably not how you think. Researchers found that people who naturally walked faster had better brain health outcomes. But here's the key: you don't need to force yourself to speed walk. Your natural pace actually says something about your brain health. As your brain improves from regular walking, your natural pace often increases on its own. It becomes a positive cycle. And the benefits compound over time. Someone who walks for 1 year sees improvements. Someone who walks for 5 years sees even greater improvements. Your brain keeps responding, keeps adapting, keeps getting better at using the increased blood flow and BDNF. There's one more result that researchers didn't expect to find. Walking improved what scientists call executive function, your ability to plan, organize, and complete complex tasks. Adults who walked regularly performed better at switching between tasks, controlling their impulses, and making decisions under pressure. These are the exact skills that typically decline with age.